The Rust Belt is ruining the world. The Trump administration keeps using the decline of the Rust Belt as an excuse to push for the revival of American industry. Vice President J.D. Vance does the same. In his book Hillbilly Elegy, Vance goes on and on about the miserable reality of the Rust Belt. But let's be honest, the Rust Belt is dragging the global economy into an endless recession. Why? Why should the entire world suffer just to revive the Rust Belt? Can the Rust Belt be revived? My conclusion is simple. It's nearly impossible. I asked AI, and it told me that the mining output of iron ore and coal, once the backbone of the steel industry, has been cut in half. The U.S. now has to import iron ore from countries like Canada, yet Trump slapped tariffs on it. That makes domestic steel production unfeasible. To make matters worse, foreign car manufacturers are setting up plants in the U.S., overtaking the domestic auto industry. But the biggest problem? The mining of natural resources in the Rust Belt has almost completely stopped. Without American iron ore and coal, how can they possibly revive the steel industry? This issue may seem complicated, but the core of it is simple. The Rust Belt doesn't even deserve to be revived. If they truly wanted to rebuild, they would at least put in some effort. But there's no sign of that. Gary, Indiana, the city that collapsed. Let's take an example. Have you heard of Gary? It's in the heart of the Rust Belt and used to thrive thanks to U.S. steel. But now, it's a literal hellhole. And here's the funniest part. Gary is Michael Jackson's hometown. His childhood home still stands, attracting fans from all over the world, but no one dares visit because of the city's terrifying crime rate. Now, what have Gary's mayors done to fix this? Have they shown any will to revive the city? While the Rust Belt was collapsing, did anyone even attempt to attract investment or promote tourism by saying, "Hey, we have Michael Jackson's birthplace. Please help us"? Nope. Right? They aren't even trying to save their city. So, why are they whining for help? What industry suits the Rust Belt? It's time to face reality. The Rust Belt can no longer be a manufacturing hub. So, what should they do instead? I believe the Rust Belt should transform into the Egg Belt and the Cheese Belt. Right now, egg prices in the U.S. are skyrocketing. Since the Rust Belt has no more mines and its manufacturing industry is dying, switching to egg production might actually be a better economic choice. Fortunately, this region has plenty of water, perfect for supplying fresh water to chickens. If they build state-of-the-art poultry farms and maintain strict disease control, they could become America's top egg supplier. But that's not all. Cheese and dairy processing could also be a perfect industry for the Rust Belt. The Rust Belt was once America's industrial heartland, but now it's full of abandoned factories and warehouses. Why not convert those into modern dairy processing plants? They could turn it into a cheese production hub, just like Wisconsin. With cutting-edge dairy farms, they could boost the production of high-quality milk, butter, and yogurt. The Midwest already has a strong dairy industry, so investing in processing facilities could revitalize the region's economy. Right now, European cheeses dominate the U.S. market. But if the Rust Belt starts producing high-quality dairy products at scale, they could secure a strong foothold in the American market. It's time to accept reality. The Rust Belt can no longer survive on manufacturing and steel. It's time to move on, start producing eggs in high-tech poultry farms, and build a thriving cheese industry. That's the only way for the Rust Belt to stop being a burden on the world.
You can support me. Just click below.